Hello everyone, Mike Arnold here, co-founder, Patrick, and partners along with Bob Iacino. So rotation back up out of the rotation zone, bottom of the rotation zone for Bitcoin, returning to the 12.5% gain level from the most recent highs. Not really able to get above it, baselining, now pulling back to rotation zone. This is actually looking pretty toppy right now. Unless we get a strong rotation back up above this, like about 4170. Nothing yet to do. Key close, if we get it below about 4,028, I'll start watching for the bigger pullback to about 3,900 area. If that does not hold, we have this cluster there. If that does not hold, then we'll start watching for about 3,850, then 3,802 to the downside. Upside targets are still the same. Let's check in with that daily chart. So right here, this is very critical, this 3,900 level. You see we got the first cross rotation zone and the mildly separating rotation zone. So any pullback, see if it catches on here. If we get a close back below, I'm going to call it about 3,880, not bullish anymore on a daily. And then again, start watching for the bigger pullback. If we do rally, 4,300 is major resistance. And through that, 4,435, where we have the declining 50 day exponential moving average, which is going to start converging with that level. So start watching that 44.35, then above that 44.90, or essentially 4,500. Switching over to Ethereum. Ethereum really strong move up, much stronger than Bitcoin. Power move up, first cross, catching on the rotation zone, moving back up through the next key levels. We were watching for 132.05, moving through that. At some point, you could have done a, let me update this retracement levels first. Then you could have always, remember when things pause, especially when they're going through the levels, you can always raise this, which then gave you the next cluster area of 136.16 to 136.26. Hitting that, pulling back, basing sideways, letting the 8 catch up, poking through it now to 138.49. I'm just going to do the full update now because we have the bigger correction. And this is also where you can also bring in, if you're looking for shorter term targets, you can bring in from this most recent bottoming pattern. You can bring in that to the highs. And look at that, we got a 142 minor level, then a major cluster area at 145.40 to 145.95, and above that 152.31. So it looks like it's running out of some momentum. So we're going to be watching for a close below the 20, which is about, let's call it the 130 level right now. If we close below that, we'll start watching for a pullback to 124.64 and see if we get any setup patterns there, rotations back up. That's a 25% retracement and the rising 50-period exponential moving average. And if we pull back from there, next major cluster area is 118.50 to 117.75 for support. Let's switch over to the daily chart. Daily chart is stalling out right now with the 50-day exponential. And there's your upper levels, so nothing else to discuss in the upper levels. If we pull back beyond the 117.75 area, we have the first cross rotation zone, and right there we have this little bit of support right there and the 50% retracement from this whole up move. So the next critical level we'd be watching for support would be about 110.83. Remember that if you've gotten long or taken advantage of some of these moves, definitely move up your stops with it starting to look toppy, or take off. So lock some profits in and start watching for a bigger pullback. Looks like we might eke out a divergence depending on how this closes today. We have a higher high in price action. Looks like we might just form an equal or lower high in RSI, so it's definitely waning momentum. So just keep that in mind in terms of your stops. So we have for you on Ethereum and Bitcoin, and we'll talk to everyone soon. Bye for now.